This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
An ATV rollover crash has left a hunter dead. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. Illegal marijuana grows could be supplying Maine's medical cannabis, leaving some worried about the ingredients. And a flash mob took over West Market Square in Bangor to encourage people to get out and vote. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories in just a moment. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, happy Monday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. We invite you to give us a call regarding your project and experience the Renewal by Andersen of Greater Maine difference. Alrighty, here we go. So a small crowd advisory is up until 7 p.m. Tuesday along the coast. Active surf will be expected later on tonight and tomorrow, as we will be watching for some active weather that will be moving in. For now, we are seeing activity farther off towards the west, but just clouds moving in. We'll stay dry today under a mostly cloudy sky, but tonight rain and snow will be a possibility. Let's zoom things out right now. We're seeing a lot of the activity farther off towards the west, even just west of us right now, but even up in the parts of Canada. And we'll be watching for our return for some rain and snow coming up later on tonight. Futurecast moving forward, mostly cloudy, some rain and snow on the way. No accumulations whatsoever in the snow department, but some rainfall will be on the way nonetheless. But notice as we get towards Tuesday morning, still some rain showers to watch out for. And the winds will be increasing too later on tonight, and especially into tomorrow. Some sustained winds at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts up to 25 miles per hour will also be a possibility. For today, mid-40s, mostly cloudy, southwest breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, here we go, or for tonight though, excuse me, upper 30s, some rain and snow in that south wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. The hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period today showing that mostly cloudy sky. Rain showers approach later on tonight with temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. A Richmond man is dead following an ATV rollover crash Saturday morning in Dixmont. According to the Maine Warden Service, 65-year-old Patrick LaFlame of Richmond was hunting with friends and did not return for breakfast as expected. Wardens say his friends later found him deceased, pinned under his ATV on Old Tote Road, approximately a mile off Fire Tower Road.
A lot of uneven ground, so it's hard to definitively say what exactly happened, but something caused them to roll the ATV over.
The initial investigation indicates that the ATV LaFlame was driving rolled over on top of him, causing his death. Wardens say the death is believed to be accidental. 27-year-old Dylan Caruso's body was found in Exeter a week ago, and now 4 men are charged in connection with his killing. Arraignments happened Friday in Penobscot County Court for 2 of the 4 men charged. 31-year-old Dylan Belanger of Corinth and 32-year-old Holden Melvin of Charleston appeared in court at the Penobscot Judicial Center over Zoom for charges of hindering apprehension or prosecution. The charges are related to the death of 27-year-old Dylan Caruso, who was missing for multiple weeks before his body was discovered in a wooded area of Exeter. Belanger and Melvin are both expected to be in court in January. Meanwhile, Kenneth Creamer is being held and charged with murder in connection with Caruso's death. A 3rd man is also charged with hindering apprehension or prosecution. A traffic stop for improper plates in Bangor led to a felony drug arrest over the weekend. Sergeant Jason McCampley says a little after 2 a.m. on Saturday, an officer stopped a truck on Main Street after noticing the registration had expired in May. It was later determined to have a falsely attached sticker. 23-year-old Damon Quinez of Massachusetts was operating the vehicle. McCampley says his license was suspended. According to McCampley, when officers searched the truck, they found a substantial amount of suspected methamphetamine. Quinez is charged with aggravated trafficking in scheduled drugs. Maine's illegal marijuana grow houses, often linked to Chinese transnational criminal groups, are shifting from the black market to Maine's medical cannabis market. That's according to Maine's Office of Cannabis Policy. The office confirmed that several suspected grow houses have received licenses to operate in Maine's medical market, and more than 120 grows linked to grow houses received legal caregivers licenses in last year. Because of the lack of testing and regulations within Maine's medical market, officials are concerned with possible chemical contaminants that are nearly impossible to detect. The Maine Office of the Cannabis Policy says current Maine laws restrict their ability to deny suspected illegal growers or regulate grows that have been approved. Alexis Soucy, a spokesperson for the office, said in a statement, quote, OCP remains concerned about illicit actors and illicit behaviors taking refuge in the medical cannabis program. A lot of the challenge comes from an outdated piecemeal medical cannabis statute that needs significant structural reform so that it can align with the medical cannabis program and what it looks like today. Election Day is tomorrow, and an election race to watch here in Maine is the state's open U.S. Senate seat. Allison LaPierre is tracking the closing messages from the 4 candidates vying for a seat on Capitol Hill.
There are 4 candidates on the ballot this year to become one of Maine's next U.S. senators, and these candidates are working extra hard to get voters to fill in that circle next to their name.
Running for the U.S. Senate.
Democratic candidate David Costello is making his way through downtown Portland today, speaking to locals and passing out flyers. A final canvassing push in the last stretch of the race.
We just wanted to get out meet as many people as we could just to stay active before Tuesday.
One of his competitors, Republican side Demi Kazunas, is focusing on reaching voters through social media, pushing voters to stand with her and get out to the polls. But Kazunas says her team will also be out campaigning in the next few days.
I did throw my hat into this race, and I'm thinking that if I'm blessed to be able to go down in Washington, I'm going to stand strong and hopefully represent all Mainers in the state to make a difference and make their lives a little bit easier.
The third name on the ballot is independent Jason Cherry. We reached out to him, but we didn't hear back from Cherry about his campaign plans this weekend. All 3 are trying to unseat incumbent Angus King. The independent senator is also on the campaign trail this weekend. His team is going door to door in Biddeford today, working to secure a 3rd term in office.
I take very seriously the responsibility the people of Maine have given me, and I want to earn their trust and I want to earn their votes, and that's what I'm trying to do right up to the end of the day on Tuesday.
All 4 candidates are asking for your vote on Tuesday. The winner will represent Maine in the U.S. Senate for the next 6 years.
With the election getting close, Governor Mills in Austin, Ontario canvassed the greater Bangor area Saturday to encourage Mainers to get out and vote. Callie Warren has more from the campaign trail.
This is a critical day to make sure people know where to vote, how to vote, whereabouts to go.
According to the Maine government's elections division, there are almost 950,000 registered voters in the state. And with Election Day right around the corner, last-minute voter encouragement was high on Saturday. Governor Janet Mills pumped up a crowd of Democratic canvassers in the morning.
This is a day of freedom on Tuesday, a day to protect our rights, a day to get out and speak out.
Outlining some topics she wants voters to keep in mind on the 5th.
For economic development, for solid financial security, for public safety, cost-effective home health care, in a humanitarian way, keeping people out of expensive nursing home care. All that is so important, but let's not forget reproductive rights.
Across party lines in Herman, Republican congressional candidate Austin Terrio went door-to-door himself, asking for support at the polls and encouraging voter engagement.
People are going to come out in droves on Tuesday. A lot of them are not necessarily partisan people, but they're concerned about the cost of living. They're concerned about their kids' education, making sure the border is secure, making sure that people have a better future here in Maine.
People from both major parties in Maine are encouraging voter turnout.
Yeah, just go out and make your voice heard. You know, these elections sometimes come down to just a couple votes here and there.
In a democracy like the one we live in today, it is important that we have our voices heard.
Visit our website at foxbangor.com for more on where to vote and registration information. In Bangor, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
If you were out and about in downtown Bangor Sunday, you may have caught a bit of a surprise. A flash mob took over West Market Square, dancing their way through the area in an effort to encourage locals to get out and vote tomorrow. Our Grace Blanchard captured the moment and has more.
It's a nonpartisan, pro-democracy celebration of our right to vote, of our voices, and it's really to build unity, to bring our community together.
During these times of high political tension, some are turning to dance.
I thought it would be nice to do something that was a little more uplifting and a little bit more community building instead of tearing down.
Suzanne Carver organized a flash mob in downtown Bangor back in 2013. Now, over a decade later, she has helped bring community members together again for a dance to encourage people to vote.
See the community coming out to support that message and supporting the message of getting people to vote, to participate in our electoral politics is a really important part of the whole dance and the whole day.
I'ma keep on running 'cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
For me, I thought it was important to get out and just express some enthusiasm in anticipation of this vote on Tuesday, this election, because it's potentially life-changing.
Organizers hope a few minutes of unity can inspire others to take a few minutes on Election Day to visit the polls.
It's the one thing we have, if we all participate in democracy, we have a lot of say over what happens, one person at a time.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, UMaine is reinforcing its hunting policy and it's caused some controversy. We'll have the details when we return.
Whether you have a $15,000 fender bender or a surgery case worth $1 million, call the Twos.
Thankfully, my accident wasn't too serious, but I called the Twos, and Lowry and Associates still got me over $21,000.
My wife needed neck surgery after a bad accident. We called the Twos, and Lowry and Associates got her $1 million.
Big cases and small, we handle them all. Call us. We win for you.
Call 222-2222. Upset stomach? Iberogast. Indigestion? Iberogast. Bloating? Iberogast. Thanks to a unique combination of herbs, Iberogast helps relieve 6 digestive symptoms to help you feel better. 6 digestive symptoms, the power of nature. Iberogast.
Hell, I'd like to kick back.
Skip work, just like no show.
No show, Austin Terrio.
But I can't, because when Terrio did show up, he voted against lowering my prescription costs.
Now Terrio's running for Congress, bankrolled by the Project 2025 crowd, whose plan lets drug makers charge whatever they want.
And threatens to privatize Medicare.
Shows me all I need to know about Terrio. HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
I think Austin Terrio can be very dangerous.
He most definitely would join the extremists in Congress.
Austin Terrio is on the same side as the extremists who want to have a national abortion ban. The extremists that don't allow women to have choice.
And these extremists, they're going to try to control women.
It's wrong.
I think you're going to see women die.
I just don't want that for my grandchildren.
Austin Terrio, he's not going to stand up for my rights in Congress.
I needed multiple surgeries after my accident with a big truck. I called the Twos, and Lowry and Associates got me $700,000.
Call us. We win for you.
Call 222-2222.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Now you've turned your clocks back for daylight savings. It's also the perfect time to take care of another household chore. According to Hamden Fire Lieutenant Oliver Bianchi, everyone should take their time to check their smoke detectors and change their batteries. Bianchi says as we head on to the colder months, fire departments often see more fire and carbon monoxide related incidences. So having working detectors can make the difference, keeping you and your loved ones safe.
When you're going through your detectors, you can also practice fire alarms at your house. So if you have kids, things like that, making sure you all have a meeting place outside of the home, somewhere where you're going to meet, making sure that someone's called 911 and that you're all on the same page.
Bianchi says it's also a good time to make sure your pellet stove or furnace is serviced to make sure everything is in working order. The University of Maine recently announced they're reinforcing their policy on hunting on UMaine land. It comes after the university says approximately a dozen individuals were told they could hunt on UMaine's forested property by someone not authorized to do so. Our Doug Banks explains.
The University of Maine owns over 14,000 acres of land outside of their standard campuses. Their land is used for research, education, and recreation such as hunting. That's only allowed under authorized permission. According to Maine Senator Jeff Timberlake, a constituent of his alerted him that they were no longer allowed to hunt on that property.
I heard about it yesterday morning. I got a call from a constituent who said, have you heard about this? And I said, no. So we did a little call, a couple telephone calls, and tried to figure out what had happened.
According to a spokesperson with the University of Maine, they recently became aware that approximately a dozen individuals had been told they could hunt on university research farms by those not authorized by longstanding policy to grant that permission. University policy prohibits weapons, such as firearms and bows, on all university property, with exceptions for licensed law enforcement personnel or if they were given permission by the Director of Public Safety for the university's instructional activities, or in, quote, other special circumstances and under conditions the director authorizes. The spokesperson goes on to say that hunting has generally not been permissible on UMaine land, aside from the rare exceptions where hunting is allowed because of use agreements associated with the parcels transferred to UMaine or to manage wildlife. The University of Maine is not banning hunting on their property, but simply reinforcing their long-standing policy. The spokesperson says UMaine acknowledges that our employees and the members of the public who sought hunting access did so in good faith and in a manner consistent with the expectations of state land use law, and we apologize for the inconvenience created by the clarification of our policy. Doug Banks reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Late Holden Police Chief Chris Greeley is known for starting the 25 Days of Kindness initiative, encouraging law enforcement to give back to the local community. To raise funds for this year's 25 Days of Kindness, a cribbage tournament was held in Greeley's honor Saturday. The event raised over $3,000 that will go towards giving back during the 25 days. It will help pay for heating, oil, car payments, and other necessities.
We see the people that are struggling in our community, and we're able to help people. And it's a pleasure to be able to keep his legacy alive and continue this wonderful program.
They also, one of the things they did was every kid here at the Holden School, their admission to the Maine Discovery Museum was paid for. You know, some of those kids, that may be the only outing they get for the year.
If you missed the cribbage tournament, but you still want to support the initiative, you can visit our website at foxbangor.com. After the break, both candidates are making their final push in the last day of campaigning in the presidential election. We'll be right back.
Hell, I'd like to kick back.
Skip work, just like no show.
No show, Austin Terrio.
But I can't, because when Terrio did show up, he voted against lowering my prescription costs.
Now Terrio's running for Congress, bankrolled by the Project 2025 crowd, whose plan lets drug makers charge whatever they want.
And threatens to privatize Medicare.
Shows me all I need to know about Terrio. HMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Katie, I knew I'd find you here. I know, it's wild. Future you. Anyway, our doctor figured it out. All that constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back, it's IBS-C. She said Linzess could help you get ahead of it. What do you say? Yes.
Get ahead of your IBS-C with Linzess. Linzess is not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn how AbbVie and Ironwood could help you save.
Are you ready? This is the big one, the 2024 Christmas Craft Fair at the Bangor Mall. Saturdays and Sundays, November 9th, 10th, 16th, and 17th. Free admission and free Dunkin' coffee. Over 350 local vendors with new vendors each weekend. Get your free pictures taken with Santa. 4 $1,000 cash door prizes. Don't miss the 2024 Christmas Craft Fair. Saturdays and Sundays, November 9th, 10th, 16th, and 17th at the Bangor Mall.
Jared Golden says,
I'm not voting for Donald Trump.
That's because Golden supports Kamala's agenda. Golden voted for their $1 trillion spending spree and against funding Trump's wall.
I'm not voting for Donald Trump.
Golden's for Kamala's policies instead. Aroostook County native, Austin Terrio, endorsed by Trump. He'll support Trump's policies, secure the border, and fix our economy. The choice is clear.
I'm Austin Terrio, and I approve this message.
Today is the final day of campaigning ahead of Election Day. Vice President Kamala Harris is spending the entire day in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. Former President Donald Trump will be in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Michigan. It comes as a record of early person-to-person voting. ABC's Perry Russum is at the White House.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump in the final sprint. Trump with 4 rallies in 3 battleground states today, starting in North Carolina.
Here's my only purpose in even being here today. Get out and vote. You know that.
Over the weekend, Trump bashing the early voting process, pushing election misinformation, questioning if climate change exists, and again using violent rhetoric when talking about his perceived opponents. This time, reporters.
To get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news. And I don't mind that so much, because I don't mind.
The Trump campaign says he was joking. Trump also used violent rhetoric involving guns last week when talking about Liz Cheney. Trump's campaign downplaying those comments, too.
I pledge to always put country above party and self.
Harris crisscrossing Pennsylvania today. It's a must-win battleground, with the most electoral college votes up for grabs, 19. Harris in Michigan yesterday.
I don't believe people who disagree with me are the enemy. In fact, I'll give them a seat at the table because that's what strong leaders do.
More than 78 million people have already voted, 35 million mailing absentee ballots, and a record 42 million early in-person voters.
It's a record number of in-person early votes, but all those mail votes, those start to really pile up. Every state different, but very likely we're bleeding at least into Wednesday.
Here in D.C., businesses are being boarded up in case there's any kind of unrest. It's going to be a long day for the candidates. They have rallies late tonight. Then it's time to count the votes to see who calls this building behind me home. Perry Russum, ABC News at the White House.
Federal law enforcement officials warn of deep fake videos about security for the upcoming election. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, says at least 2 videos online falsely claim to be from the FBI. The agency claims one video claims groups are committing ballot fraud, while another promotes false information about the second gentleman. The FBI says election integrity is one of its highest priorities, and it is working with local law enforcement to combat any election threats. Israel intensifies its air campaign against Hezbollah. Cell phone video captures the devastation in Lebanon's eastern city of Baalbek over the weekend, where many buildings were reduced to rubble. Lebanese health authorities say it comes after a day after Israel bombarded farming villages in the northeast, killing dozens of civilians. Israel stepped up its airstrikes last week as it issued an evacuation warning for residents in the entire city, including its ancient Roman temple complex inscribed as the world's heritage site. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Whether you have a $15,000 fender bender or a surgery case worth $1 million, call the Twos.
Fortunately, my accident wasn't that bad, but I called the Twos and Lowry & Associates still got me $20,000.
My husband was in a very serious accident and needed back surgery. We called the Twos and Lowry & Associates got him $450,000.
Big cases and small, we handle them all. Call us. We win for you.
Call 222-2222.
An illegal immigrant ran an Albion mother off the road and killed her. How did we get here? Before Biden opened the border, Jared Golden voted to protect sanctuary cities, gave welfare to illegal immigrants, voted to allow those benefits to be spent on liquor and bail. Jared Golden created an immigration crisis in Maine, made it worse in Washington. And this is the cost. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I drive more running for Congress than I used to. I've been all around the state. You meet a lot of great people. They talk a lot about higher costs, skyrocketing electric bills, and rising inflation. And heating oil tanks need to be filled soon. People are struggling. We need to lower inflation and the cost of fuel and bring balance to Washington. I'm Austin Theriault, and I approve this message.
People over politics. Austin Theriault for Congress.
Hank's Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snow blowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hank's Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
If you use Cymbalta to treat depression or nerve pain and you've recently filled your prescription, check the FDA website. There's been a major voluntary recall. ABC's Melissa Adan has more.
About 8% of adults in the U.S. live with major depressive disorder, and about 4.1 million people take duloxetine, branded as Cymbalta, for depression. According to the FDA, the drug manufacturer has issued a voluntary recall on the drug due to impurities by a substance that can potentially cause cancer and other health consequences. If you take Cymbalta, go to the FDA website to check the information on your prescription bottle with the recall list. If your bottle is on the recall list, contact your doctor or the pharmacy that filled the prescription. If you experience symptoms like sleepiness, exhaustion, a racing heart, vomiting, or diarrhea, feel restless, or any other symptoms after taking the drug, contact your doctor or go to the emergency room as soon as possible. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adan.
Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by the Furniture Gallery. Make your house a home and shop for all your living room needs at the Furniture Gallery. The Furniture Gallery is a Maine family-owned company with locations in Augusta, Bangor, Newport, and Windham. Alrighty, small craft advisory posted until 7 p.m. Tuesday along the coast because active surf will be expected during that time frame later on tonight and a parts of tomorrow with a system that will be passing through. You wouldn't even think that right now with 2-foot wave heights being reported according to the buoys, but if I move over here, we have 1 to 5-foot wave heights being reported according towards some of the buoys. So some areas are definitely active more than others. But we are watching clouds that are increasing as we speak this afternoon. Notice some activity further off towards the west. We're seeing a lot of precipitation not only in Canada but also parts of the U.S. where showers and even some thunderstorms are developing, and our turn for rain will approach later on tonight, and it could mix in with a little bit of snow at times. So futurecast moving forward, a mostly cloudy sky today. We'll stay dry today, but later on this evening and even into tonight, mostly cloudy, rain showers, even some snow showers mixing in as well. We'll transition to all rain later on tonight, but as for tomorrow, more rain showers are a possibility. Then by Tuesday afternoon, notice the sun will come back out before it sets earlier now thanks to the time change, but the gusty winds will also be a thing as we head towards Tuesday night and parts of Wednesday morning with some clouds and maybe some fog possible, and then maybe more rain on the way as we head towards Wednesday morning, moving in from the north going toward the south. So as for today, around 1/4 of an inch of rain possible. That actually will approach later on tonight, I should say, in the parts of tomorrow. Today we will stay dry, but once we head towards Tuesday and later on this week, more rainfall will be on the way. So overall this week, around 1/2 inch inch of rain or less possible before we're all finished up. This will also factor in some of that melted down snow, so some water on the way. We could use more, but we'll take what we can get for the time being, as we are in moderate drought across our neck of the woods, and it's not just us. A good part of the U.S. dealing with some kind of drought right now, too, so a lot of rainfall falling over some areas that definitely do need it. So your forecast coming up for today, we have mid-40s, mostly cloudy, southwest wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. Coming up for tonight, upper 30s, rain and snow possible, no snow accumulations, just rain on the way, south wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, here we go, upper 50s, rain showers on the way, also breezy out there, and a southwest wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. Alrighty, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by the Furniture Gallery. Rain showers Wednesday, a warm one with highs in the low 70s, then mid-50s Thursday under a partly cloudy sky, partly cloudy Friday with highs in the low 50s.
I'm having trouble getting used to this time change, and my dog definitely does not understand that we get to sleep a little longer. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.